Disloyalty is a thing rightly frowned upon by society. And as we grow up in this world, we learn that there is no greater way to show love to a group or friend or family member than by remaining loyal to them. As kids, we are taught to ridicule tattletales, and eventually this evolves into snitches get stitches. I was always told family first or blood is thicker than water. In sports, we were taught to defend our teammates from anyone who would do them wrong. I was on the offensive line in school, and we were taught protect the quarterback at all costs. And then we grow up and we get friends and we're loyal to them and we hope they're loyal to us. And we get a job and we hope our job is loyal to us and we try to be loyal to that job. And then the ultimate loyalty test is marriage, as it's until death do us part. But then we get fired, and then we find out our friends are talking about us behind our backs. Many marriages end in divorce, and teammates don't always get along. People snitch all the time. So, how valuable is loyalty? I want to answer that question by looking at it backwards. Why is disloyalty sometimes wise? When is it okay to set our loyalties aside? Most of us are hardwired to be loyal. And it's been my observation in life that the more you agree to help someone, no matter how many times they've burned you, the harder it is to say no. It's like you start to say to yourself, I always help them out, so why should I stop now? Science backs this up. Pickup artists try to get women to do them a favor, even if it's a small one, like, excuse me, can you tell me what aisle the cereal is in? The simple act of helping someone tricks your brain into liking them a little bit because why else would you help them? Why would you help someone you don't like? But this can become toxic. You hear all the time people say, I don't care what they've done, they're family. I'm going to stick by them. Or, I don't care how many times he cheats on me. He's my husband and I took vows. Or, she's my best friend from elementary school. I can never turn my back on her. I don't care what she's done or said. These are all self-abusive statements. No one wants to absorb a sunk cost, whether it's money, time, energy, or especially trust. So we tend to give in more often, and the loyalty train just keeps rolling. The trouble is in our DNA. Humans are tribal animals. Loyalty is woven through every cell because disloyalty to the pact usually meant death or exile. And so we evolved to always want to people please. It feels good to trust someone and to be trusted. Security is a deep and primal need within us all, and loyalty, when reciprocated, can lead to a powerful sense of safety with another. And it just feels good to help others and to engage in good relationships. Science calls this a helper's high. You get a boost in oxytocin and dopamine when being kind. And add love to the mix, well, then comes an increase in serotonin. That's the neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood. That's why when you first get into a new relationship, you have all that adrenaline pushing you to do things for your new partner that you may have let slide in your previous relationship. But betrayers ruin all this, which brings us to Pasley Rule for Life number 2. Loyalty has an expiration date. Have you ever had a friend or relative who just can't get right? You feel sorry for them. So you always help out. But then they come back again and again and again. And all those good chemicals that made you feel so good helping them out in the beginning start to fade. And the emotions start to dull. And you find yourself just helping out of a sense of obligation. That obligation becomes a chain. And those chains build up over time and hold us prisoner in toxic, unfulfilling relationships. You wake up and find yourself in a doom loop of someone constantly taking your loyalty for granted and abusing the obligation, though misguided, that you feel towards them. If this is you and you're in this situation, my advice is to end the dynamic immediately. The sooner you get it over with, breaking up with this person, be it a family member or a longtime friend or a lover, the easier it'll be. Walk away or separate yourself from these users. It'll only become more difficult over time. And when it comes to relationships, whether financial or emotional, life is a lot easier if after the very first betrayal, you make it clear to the betrayer, no more trust will ever again be offered. I know that it's a lot harder than I'm making it out to be. Trust me, I've given people more chances than I would like. I think we all have. Because we all want to give people chances. We want to see people we care about do better. But those noble sentiments are too often taken advantage of. They get taken advantage of by parents using their kids, kids using their parents, friends using friends who are better off than they are. No emotion I've ever felt in this life hurts more than betrayal. The breaking of a trust levels you. The emotional pain caused by betrayal is so intense and long lasting that it often leads to feelings of anger, sadness, humiliation, and disappointment that just won't fade away. If you don't take precaution, these emotions can overwhelm and destroy you and your well being. I'm a big proponent of forgiveness. Forgiveness is very important in this life. And I intend to make a video on forgiveness very soon. But I thought that it's more important to know when to end loyalty. Because having the ability to know when to no longer trust someone in this life is paramount. But how do you recover from a betrayal that shatters all your trust? Well, let's talk about trust. First of all, what is it? Secondly, how does it work? My own personal definition of trust is the belief that others will act in ways that are consistent with our expectation and values. It's a very powerful thing in this life to have someone that you know is always going to be the same. You know, we change over time, but their base personality is always chill, or maybe they're always excited. You can trust that person to always be who they are. They don't switch it up on you. And when you find someone like that, it's a very valuable thing. But expectations are tricky when it comes to other human beings. They're dangerous things to have because predicting how this person or that person may behave or act will almost certainly get you burned one day. A defining trait in humanity is that we often act irrationally. Humans are driven by emotion, not logic, and the sooner we all come to grasp that reality, the better off we'll all be, emotionally speaking. And so while logic may tell us that anyone can betray at any time. Our hearts will often be too blind to see it. Repeated betrayal can leave us feeling vulnerable and exposed. It can make us question our own judgment and the ability to trust others. And all that can lead to feelings of supreme self doubt and a reluctance to open up to others in the future. That fear of getting hurt again will make it so much harder to trust others. And you never want to become a person incapable of trust. It's just too lonely of a road in this life. So remember, loyalty has an expiration date. And if you're suffering from the pain of betrayal, it can be very helpful to seek out support from friends, family, or even professionals like therapists to help navigate the emotions and rebuild your ability to trust. Thank you for listening, and have a wise day.